Isn't math fun? Guys, thank you so much, and welcome to Dragonmore Gaming. This is Daniel, and we're back with more Dyson Sphere. We're working on our logistics drone factory. Get that up and running. And I was kind of racking my brain a little bit, if you remember last time, trying to understand how we wanted to, how do we achieve this 3-to-2 ratio that the devs have set us up here with this. And I was trying to figure it out, so I think I figured it out offline, so I wanted to kind of share with you guys my thoughts on this. So I want to have this work so that it's pulling everything efficiently, so it's not bogging it down with extra materials, and that as we add to the bus later, we don't get extra materials just sitting around not doing anything. So how do you get a 3-to-2 ratio? That's the real question. And I believe I found out. And I really don't think we're gonna be able to do it with both these belts. So like I'm actually for the 2 input things, I'm just gonna do the 1, and that'll come out to our little splitter here, like our little row of splitter deals. And I may move that in the future, don't know. But okay, so step 1 is, remember how I told you guys that you want the higher ratio thing closer, because it pulls things faster. Well, for the 3-to-2 ratio, forget that. You're actually gonna reverse it. And here's why. So what you're going to do, so again, if you use kind of the basic math here, right? So the Mark 1, I like to kind of normalize these just, because 1.5 trips per second per grid, okay. So just assume it moves 1 unit per space. Well, actually, and so from farther away, I'm going to call that 1. So going from here, again, just to normalize things, from here to here, it's 2 spaces. I'm going to call that a unit of 1. The reason I'm going to do that, you'll see here in a second. If you do it from the closer one, it's double the speed. So I'm going to call that 2, right? So if this order is closer, we call that 2. If it's further away, that's just the 1. So what I noticed, right, is that the second sorter is double the speed. So instead of 1, assume that it pulls 2 from here. And if it pulls from the closer one, again, double it. So call that 4. So this is actually pulling at 4, and this is only pulling at 2. Now, I want you to look really closely, is that what I've done here is I've researched something cool. So we got the crystals. All right. Can be used as fuel, but they will reduce fuel generation, slowing down the mecha's energy recharge rate. Okay, so it's like a crystal in a pinch, but I think we use these for other crystal products later. All right, so notice what I've just done here is that using the way I did this math is that the ratio of this closer belt is 2. The Mark 1 sorter at this distance, I'm saying, is 1, and the Mark 2 at this distance is 2. But we're using both of them, so it's 1 plus 2, so this is 3. So this is a 3-to-2 ratio. But now, like I said, you have to switch it, because like I said, it has to take the 3 versus the 2. It has to take the 3 from the far belt this time. So if it's a 2-to-1, I would you just need the Mark 1 sorters, and you put the 2 thing closer. But if it's a 3-to-2 ratio like it is here, we're actually going to rip all this up, and we're going to have to, basically turn these around. Because now we want the copper to go on the far side, because that's our 3 ratio, right? So the copper is going to be on the outside now, and the steel is on the inside. So, everything I told you guys as far as, how we wanted the ratios last time, for a 3-to-2 ratio, it's different. So, here we go. Alright, and then this becomes, slope is too steep. Alright, so I'm going to have to, let's come out 1 more with this. Let's have it go the same height. Alright, and then, just 1 more square over. And then have that go all the way down to the ground. And through here. Make sure that this is lined up. Alright. So let's do the same thing over here. So again, so to get this 3-2 ratio, you're going to need Mark II belts, or Mark II sorters rather. And again, what you're going to do is a Mark II sorter. Now I don't know like the rate at which these picks these up, if that matters. So one thing I'm going to do here, just to, I hope to alleviate any frustration, is that you put the Mark II at the beginning, taken from the far one, and the Mark I at the end, just to give it some time to figure itself out and grab those materials. So it's got to take the faster one will go first, and then the other one second, and then of course the Mark I in the middle. That'll give you your rate of 2. All right, so let's do the same thing here. And now we have the 3-to-2 ratio. So it actually uses all 3 inputs, but now you're getting the 3-to-2 ratio. So now there's no wasted materials going into these factories. Bam. So that took a little while to figure out, but I'm glad I could figure that for you guys. So if you want the 3-to-2 ratio, that is how you do it. And so, like I said, I like having these dual factory bus things that come into merge into the splitter, but with as complicated as this is, there's no room for another row of assemblers behind it. So I am going to leave it at just the 1 row for these and call that a day. All right. So cool. So let's move on. We got, so when we last left over here, again, I think just having the 2 inputs really just kind of screws with things. So I am not going to worry about that for the assemblers with 2 inputs. So all right, and then this one is just a good old, this is the good old 2-to-1, right? So we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so this one's working at 100% already. All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna keep working towards these drones. All right, so the very next thing we need, all right, and then this needs to move because I'm gonna probably put a belt here. So yes, all right. All right, so what is next? Next is some kind, well, let's go ahead and lay some foundation, and by foundation I mean belts. Let's just say that there's a belt going as output there. And then we need our production. What are we producing? We are producing the process, no, we need the circuits next, right? Yeah. All right, here's where it gets interesting is I need the copper and iron. Iron, copper. Now I'm taking copper up here. Is there a way to split this again? I think what I want to do is try to have the copper come back out over here, maybe over the splitter or around it, and then go to another splitter that shoots it into this bus, and then over here with another splitter that shoots it into this bus. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Again, if I had lifts, this would be like really cool, so you can make it really tight and interesting. But not sure if they're going to make those or if those are in the game. So, okay. But we'll work with what we got. So this is going to be the circuits, which means we need to pull iron down here. All right, iron, where you got? All right, so this is our iron. So I'm gonna pull the iron here. And I feel like I should probably do the copper first because it's gonna get a little tight if I have to make a splitter for this, which of course I do. All right. Now what am I gonna do with you? So I feel like I should get this going somewhere. At least at the moment, I'm just gonna have it come out just so it knows it's gotta go somewhere. And that will give me a chance to figure out how far away to put this splitter. So if I do it here, can I have this guy come out and up? There we go. Just have it come up past that, just so it's out of the way. Okay. Okay. And I'll have the iron probably have to come this way. I think it'll let me go over that, right? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Alright, so we'll have... This will be the iron track. Once we get to that point. So we'll just have floating conveyors, but you know what? It's fine. That's where the iron will be. Alright, so we want the copper actually to come over here. So we're gonna dismantle this. Yeah, our poor flying conveyors. Alright. I guess the splitter coming off this way is a good use of this, because if I have the copper going this way past the splitter, it kind of makes the splitter worthless for this end of it. Down. And JK, we can't even use it. Alright, so let's... how are we going to do this? We're going to have the splitter further away, I think. Let's think here. I need to split this copper to go into this bus and into this one. And then just to double check, so it's a 2-to-1 iron to copper. Alright, so this is going to be the iron we said. So maybe we can just go ahead and get that going. Horizontal turning. Alright, fine. So this is where this is going to go, right? So you don't want to make that turn. Then screw you. Alright, now. Okay, so it's in the sky, and then at this point, then we'll have it go down to the ground. Okay. So that's the iron, and we got some room to work with. So the copper needs to come in here. Can I put a splitter in the air? Because that would be nice. Can I stack splitters on top of each other? I can. Oh, okay. Okay. This suddenly got interesting. Okay. I think we have our plan. This actually works out really well. Alright, so now I want to have the splitter. I'd love to have it uniform, but it's going to encroach on that. But you know what? We can move that. We can move that though. So pro tip, you can stack splitters. Who knew? Alright, definitely need more of these guys. Alright, splitter here. And then one on top of it. Alright, because what we're going to do is we're going to run this into this. And now we have copper going on this track here. And then this one can connect here, hopefully. Assuming I'm doing this right. Oh boy. It is not behaving. It needs to go here. Please go here. Angle too wide. Okay. Let's have it come out the one space it needs to. Alright. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't like that. And yeah. It's colliding with itself, I guess? I don't know. So we need to come out one more. Must be horizontal when turning. Alright, so then we need to come over one. And then down. You're not turning. Or we literally have to go forward again. But it can go down. Oh, it can go down that steep. Okay, perfect. Alright, we got it. Stack splitters. This is fun. Alright. Bam. Alright, and now we have the copper. Which means... So the iron... So So we don't need to split the iron here. Maybe we do. Let's assume we have to split the iron too. Now what? What's the closest I can get the splitter and actually still be functional? Like here. Now, let's assume I do that. So, like the half, so this, because how high up is the splitter? Because it's 2, right? It's, yeah, you have to hit the arrow twice, so it's 3rd floor technically. So first, second, so there's nothing on the second, and then it skips and it goes to the 3rd, is what I'm going to call it. So floor 1, floor 2 is in between, you can't do anything. Floor 3 is the next splitter. So we can have this belt do this. Alright. Now just conceptually, if we drag this out, what are you doing thing? Alright. Does that work? Oh, okay. That does work. Alright, I was worried it was going to intersect, but... Alright. It does kind of do this little thing, like, it does the perfect little turn here, if you see what I'm talking about, when it crosses the certain, you know, longitudinal line, I guess. It kind of jukes to the side here. So I'm going to have to test this separately without that. Because I just want to make sure that this works. Is that the way I had it? It's actually closer than I think it should be, just because of that situation. Okay. Is that right? Alright. Again. Testing. So this one goes past it. Well, make it on the ground. I didn't really mean to do that, but okay. Doesn't matter. Ooh, yeah, that one collides. So it needs to be here. I think that's what it's gonna have to do. Right? Again, I'm doing all this just to test, see how it works. Okay. Yeah, that's the distance you have to have. So there's got to be like this full square, full tile in the middle here. That's kind of your indicator. Okay. So that's how close you can get stacked splitters going on. All right. And of course, if we put another splitter on top of this one to avoid this one doing the same intersection, you'll have to go up a half level for this guy going this way. And just to visually, just to show you what I mean. Oops. Again, same difference. So this would intersect. So we have to raise it up a level. Same thing. There we go. And that's how you can use stack splitters. Very cool. Alright, I am impressed. Alright, this is fun. Alright. Now that I've made this beautiful stack splitter situation, I gotta get rid of it, because now I gotta do it for real. Alright. So again, this one's in really tight, and the only reason is because I got lucky with this longitudinal line, you know, janky conveyor belt shifting over to the side so it doesn't interfere or collide. So awesome. Does that happen? I assume that happens in the air too. Yep. Okay. Well, awesome. So all that is just to be fun and ridiculous. let's see. What were we doing? With the iron. Yes, we needed iron. Iron's gonna come from this one, because I think this is really cool to use. So this is no longer gonna be the iron. The iron's gonna come from here. Alright. And the reason it's gonna work is because it's gonna be here. Oh. JK here. And it's gonna go like that. And then is this I think is my output for the factory, right? I always move it slightly to the side, right? So the output needs to be here. Nope. Why don't you like me? Alright. Cool. Alright, so we got that going in. So that's the splitter for the output, which are the circuit boards. So now we got circuit boards that can come off and go different directions. Alright, so the splitter thing is actually going to be really cool. This is actually way more powerful of a tool than I thought. Alright, so again we need iron. Iron is going to come in here. So we got to come up. Must be horizontal. Oh yeah. Alright, and then over, and then down. Alright, that should be it. Okay, so that's how we're gonna get the iron in here. It's gonna go up a little, you know, one of those one levels, half level, however you want to call it. Turn and go back down, and now we got the input. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the sorters online. It is a 2-to-1, and I did do this correctly, right? Yeah, the iron's closer, and it's 2-to-1. Oh, of course you don't have power. Alright. I'm just making them every freaking one, I guess. Now, the problem with this, the way I have it set up, actually, I'm a little worried, because when I start making the bus longer, I'm not going to have any room to put the towers, like, in between here with all these belts. So I think starting here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So there's just gonna be a tower here, so there's gonna be an entire row that's quote-unquote blank, just to serve as, you know, tower of power. That's gonna be where the power poles go. Alright, so again we needed iron to come into, yeah, here. Alright, this one's gotta be iron. Alright, iron, where you at? This is the splitter for iron. I'm almost out of materials. That is not the right splitter. Alright. Oh. It just connects. Yes. Alright, as that builds, take a look at... We only got less than 100 of our conveyor belts left, so we're going to have to fly back to our planet to pick up a whole bunch more conveyors. Alright, and go. Ha. Here comes the iron. Alright, so, and again, we can always add more smelters, which I'm sure we'll have to soon. But let's see it come in. And you remember the rule. Now we get it going. Gotta do more. Double production. Alright, did I make the output? I don't think I did. Alright, and then copy, paste. And in we go. Alright, we got circuit boards. Alright, so we have the micro deals, we have the circuits, and those are on buses, and those are going to splitters. So we're going to immediately pull them into another bus to make the next thing. And next thing, so again, we're going to leave a gap. So nope, other way. That's the output. Okay. And this is going to be our processors finally. All right. So we're going to get processors set up next time. And then we'll be that much closer to getting the logistics drones. I think we made a lot of progress here today, guys. I didn't realize that you could stack splitters. That might have been a particular chassis upgrade that gave us that, you know, I don't know if it was this one or... Yeah, because I don't even have sorter cargo stacking, which that's going to change things. And that takes yellow. Logistics drone carrying capacity. So, like, there's all sorts of things that I don't even have yet. So that appears to be just like a default thing, maybe, that I just didn't realize. So yeah, so once you have the ability, or maybe you start at the beginning, you can stack your splitters, and this just makes, you know, doing these buses just so much easier, actually. I was kind of worried, like, how am I going to do all these splitters and not enough room for them to all come to the ground and come back up, so this is nice. Alright, so we'll call it here, guys. So and next time we'll do processors, and then hopefully logistics drones. Alright, so thank you so much, guys. This has been so much fun. So remember, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.